Can you afford a 2025 Nissan Altima? Well, according to a Kelley Blue Book article, it says that you should not be paying any more than 20% of your net take-home income on the car payment, the insurance, the fuel, maintenance, etc. All right? So with that being said, we're gonna cover the lease payment along with the finance payment on a 2025 Altima SR front-wheel drive model. I chose this because it's kind of like a mid-trim, it looks pretty nice, and we're also going to be looking at a well-equipped premium package SR, which stickers for about $33,000. All right, but I'm also partnered with a company known as AutoCompanion, who's primarily located in Washington, D.C., and their partner dealerships are offering 13% off the MSRP. So we're talking about a vehicle that is well under invoice, and let's see if these payments are going to be affordable. So regarding the lease, it's going to be for 39 months and 10,000 miles a year. We're using Pennsylvania as an example state, and I'm going to go with $370 a month with $370 down as the lease payment here. It's a little bit less on AutoCompanion's website, but the reason why I wanted to round up is because on AutoCompanion's website, they're showing a $32,000 MSRP. A well-equipped premium package SR front-wheel drive is really going to be closer to $33,000. And AutoCompanion also has a separate leasing calculator, so I entered in the numbers and it came out to be closer to $360 a month on the AutoCompanion free leasing calculator. And that's because on the website he's showing about $1,650 in lease cash, but on AutoCompanion's free leasing calculator, there seems to be about $1,325 in lease cash. Whatever the case might be, as of March of 2025, there is definitely some lease bonus cash for the SR trim level of the Altima. I'm just gonna round up and call it $370 a month with the first month's payment due at start. Regarding fuel, the Google AI is saying that fuel is gonna cost you about $180 a month. They kind of pulled that from the Edmunds website, so we'll go with $180 a month. It's probably going to be a lot less than that depending on how much you drive. Plus, the Altima actually gets really good fuel economy, but whatever. We'll roll with the $180. And regarding the insurance, in a state like Pennsylvania, apparently it's going to be about $1,600 per year, which is about $133 a month and 33 cents. I just rounded that up to $140 a month. So $370 for the payment, $140 for the insurance, and $180 for fuel. That comes out to be $690 a month to lease an SR trim level Altima. For this to be 20% of your net monthly income, you should be bringing in at least $3,450 per month. But on that Kelley Blue Book article, it also states that it's ideal if you can keep it between 10 to 15% of your net monthly income. So for this to be 10% of your world, you would have to be bringing in $6,900 a month, which is quite high. Realistically, $3,450 a month. That's the bare minimum you should be making in order to afford a brand new Altima SR. Now, regarding the finance, if you go on Nissan's website, they are currently offering 3.49% for 60 months as their promotional finance rate. Now, keep in mind, lease programs, interest rates, incentives, all of these things, they do change and update every month. But AutoCompanion's website, along with the manufacturer's website, will also update every month. But I just inputted some numbers onto calculator.net. That is the best auto loan calculator out there. We're still going to go with that 13% off MSRP number, so $28,710. That's going to be the price of the vehicle. Once again, 60 months, 3.49%. And I am including $500 for something like gap insurance. That's typically something you should get if you're going to put no money down on the lease or the finance. So with everything, sales tax, fees, your finance payment for 60 months, it's going to be $616.44 per month. That is brutal. And all of this is assuming that you have perfect credit. And we still have to add in the insurance and the fuel, so that $140 for the insurance, $180 for the fuel, along with the $616.44. Your total, it's going to be $936.44 per month. That is insane for a regular family sedan. Granted, cars have always been pretty expensive when you factor in everything like, insurance and fuel, but yeah, it's just wild to say these numbers out loud. So for this to be 20% of your world, you should be bringing in $4,682.20 per month. And for this to be 10% of your total net income, you should be making $9,364.40 per month. Well, the lease payments are certainly a lot more manageable, that's for sure. But which is cheaper? Is it cheaper to lease overall, or is it cheaper to finance? Well, you're going to be paying about the same in terms of interest with the lease and the finance, a little over $3,000 in interest. But keep in mind, you're paying the $3,000 in interest over the course of 60 months, and you're getting a paid off vehicle at the end, as opposed to you paying about $3,100 in total interest on a lease that's only for 39 months. So leasing is technically more expensive, but there are a lot of other quality of life aspects of leasing that not many people seem to understand or consider. Number one, of course, the payments are much lower and much more manageable. That's definitely a big plus. But more importantly, though, you do get that residual protection where, in 39 months, if the vehicle is just underwater by $3,000 to $4,000, which is totally possible because it's a Nissan, it doesn't exactly hold its value super well, then that's not your issue. You can just turn in the keys and not have to worry about negative equity. Also, God forbid, if the vehicle gets into an accident or there's some type of a insurance claim made on the vehicle, you're not stuck with a vehicle that has an accident report on the vehicle. Once again, that's now the dealership's problem. So a lot of benefits to leasing like that. You're avoiding the negative equity. You're avoiding things like, potential damages, lowering the value of the vehicle. You're not on the hook for any of that stuff. Plus, once the warranty has expired on any new car, you're on the hook for all of the maintenance and the repairs. Most people who end up paying off a vehicle in 5 to 6 years, they end up just trading in the vehicle anyway and picking up a new car loan regardless. So they're just going to be in and out of cars anyway. Life just happens. They need to either upgrade a vehicle, something happens to their current vehicle, they get a pet, something happens. So honestly, leasing is not bad. Plus, check out AutoCompanion's free leasing calculator, because that actually shows you the interest rate of the lease, which I did not mention. It's about 3.86%, which is not great, but not horrible either. It's just average. This video is not exactly to tell you which method of buying is better, leasing or financing. The calculators are free and available to you to calculate the deals. But something major to keep in mind is all of these numbers were calculated using a vehicle that has 13% off the MSRP through AutoCompanion. How many people are getting these vehicles under invoice? Not that many. These dealerships are genuinely losing money selling you the vehicle at these prices. They're mainly just trying to be volume dealerships that get substantial bonuses from the manufacturer by selling a bunch of cars. That's my understanding of why a lot of AutoCompanion's partner dealerships are able to sell these vehicles at such low prices. They're trying to go for the numbers. And you can see the invoice price of new vehicles on websites like JD Power. There's about a $2,000 delta between invoice to MSRP. So with AutoCompanion's discount, you're getting like over $4,000 off the MSRP. So that right there is already 2 G's under invoice. Plus, if you lease the SR Altima, you're getting over $1,000 in leased cash as well. So you're over $3,000 under invoice when you lease a new SR. That is pretty incredible. I'm not forcing you or telling you to buy and purchase vehicles that you don't need or can't afford. In fact, the whole point of this video is to show you with accurate numbers that are even somewhat inflated if you can truly afford the vehicle or not. So if you clearly do not make the incomes that I stated in the video, then definitely don't buy the car. But if you are actually in the market, I wanted to share with you AutoCompanion as a resource to save money with these vehicles. Keep in mind, he is primarily located in Washington, D.C. He is able to ship nationwide, but shipping is something you have to pay extra for, and he does charge a broker fee for accessing these deals. He did say that if you go on his website and you fill out his inquiry form and you mention my channel, Meyn Motor Group, he did say that he'll take some money off of his broker fee, and I really appreciate him doing that for my audience. As you can see, even with this broker fee, and even if you had to ship the vehicle, you're still under invoice with a lot of these vehicles. That's amazing. Obviously, if you can pick up at DC, you're saving on that shipping cost, so that's pretty good. So I'm gonna have all of AutoCompanion's information linked below. If you found value with this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching, take care, and goodbye.